Hey everybody, this is James, and for who would be saying from Mostly Gaming, that's the name of the YouTube channel. But I don't feel like I do a lot with it anymore, just because I've had so many different ideas recently, so many different projects started and then not going anywhere. Not much point saying that. So yeah, this is James from Mostly Gaming again. We'll be tuning into the E3. The Nintendo E3 presentation. I will be watching it live. My live reactions will also be available. I'm quite looking forward to it. It looks like it'll be a good show this year. They got Mario and Zelda kind of out of the way last year, so we should be seeing a lot of good stuff. And by good stuff, I mean actual good stuff, okay. I should have said this at the beginning. This is kind of more predictions, because obviously we're not. You can see here Star Fox. That was announced yesterday to be in Starlink, which is an otherwise. It's kind of hard to explain, but Starlink's kind of like this. It plays a bit like No Man's Sky, but it's not procedurally generated. Everything's designed, and it's nowhere near as big apparently. It's got more focus on space battles and things like that. So a perfect fit for Star Fox. I'm just trying to think what else I want to say. So with that in mind, I'm going to make my first prediction. I don't think we're going to get Star Fox Grand Prix this year. I think Star Fox Grand Prix, if it is indeed real and something that's actually going to be made, I think that's going to be next year's show. I don't think Star Fox is getting that much of a look in. I think this was to throw the Star Fox fans a bone more than anything else. I could be wrong. I would be happy to be wrong. But we all know that there's two things that are going to be, there are 4 games I can almost guarantee are going to get some focus. I think Mario Tennis is going to be a big one. I think they'll give that a couple of minutes just to give that, a little bit of a, hey, don't forget, this is coming out soon kind of vibe. And then we've got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Edition, which I could go on forever. It's like the biggest disappointment Pokemon has ever done, in my opinion. Like, if you look at them, like, just from a graphical standpoint and several other standpoints, like, the game looks good, and it's Pokemon on Switch, it's Pokemon HD on Switch even. That alone is something I should not have to, I shouldn't have to explain that. That should just sell itself, right? And then you've got, all the Pokemon in HD, and it's a remake of Yellow. That should have just been the concept. That should have just been what it was. But I can kind of see why they've done this, but they've done this thing where the game isn't just a remake of Pokemon Yellow. They've taken out wild Pokemon battles and put in the Pokemon Go mechanics, which is completely baffling to me, because Pokemon Go sucks. Like, just in general, Pokemon Go is one of the most objectively horrible mobile games that has ever been created. It does some clever stuff with the AR tech, and it does some interesting stuff like, showing Pokemon in the real world and giving you the feeling of actually being a trainer, going on some epic journey. But why would you then use that in placement of wild Pokemon battles? How do Pokemon experience? I mean, I know there's that CP system. If you've ever played Pokemon Go, this is basically the same basic idea, but instead of walking around the real world, you're walking around a fictional world to find Pokemon, to train them, and then presumably you capture more Pokemon, grind the ones you don't want into the candy that goes into the CP, and then feed it to, I'm not going to pretend I understand it all. But anyway, yeah, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, that's probably going to get a bit of focus as well. I'm kind of hoping they relegate that to just a couple of minutes rather than 10-20 minutes, which is what I suspect we're getting. That's not the game I'm interested in. Like, that is good. This will be the first time I'm going to be skipping a Pokemon game, because Pokemon Let's Go is not aimed at me. I think my little sister, who plays Pokemon Go every now and again, she'd probably like that. I wouldn't, because, again, Pokemon Go is just an objectively bad game. It's terrible. That game only sells because it's got Pokemon in it. Oh, it's got all the original 150 Pokemon in it. Oh, that's so nostalgic. And then, if it had been anything else, like, if it had been something like Let's Train Your Dragon, where you're capturing dragons, or, what else? Like Yu-Gi-Oh monsters or Digimon monsters or something like that. It would never have sold as well. The only reason this has sold at all is because it's got Pokemon in it, and the Pokemon company seem to have completely missed that point. Nostalgia's a great thing, but every now and again, I'm like, yeah, okay, if I get it, 150 Pokemon. Yes, you made Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow. Can we please move on? You also made Pokemon Gold and Silver, but the Johto Pokemon barely get a look in these days. You also made Diamond and Pearl, but where are those remakes? And, I mean, to be fair, I'm not exactly crying out for those remakes. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl did some things right, but they also got some things wrong. There's just... Nah, I'm not. Diamond and Pearl, if they bring them back, great. I don't know if I'll be that excited for them. They'd have to do something pretty special to bring me back into that one. What else? So yeah, we're going to get Mario Tennis, Pokemon. If Star Fox is coming this year, then we'll get a look at that. Yoshi, I think, has vanished again. We haven't heard hide nor hair of it since last E3, essentially. Kirby got announced the same year. We got Kirby announced, and then, we got the gradual reveal, and now we're getting the Dream Friends added in. So Kirby is doing quite well for himself. I don't know if Yoshi's going to be doing the same. Here's something else I think is going to be not at the show. I think a lot of people really want Metroid Prime 4 to be at this show. I'll be gobsmacked if Metroid Prime 4 is shown. The only reason I can think that Metroid Prime 4 is going to get even so much as a sniff at this particular presentation, aside from it being this year's game, I think that what they'll do is they'll tie it into Smash Bros. Because, let's not joke, that's why we're here. It's on my freaking screen. You can see it on my screen. Smash Bros. Is the reason we're all watching this, isn't it? Let's not joke. Everything else is just icing on the cake, really. I think what they're going to do, because typically they tend to reveal about 3 fighters for Smash Bros. in E3, and okay, fair enough. The only thing I have to base that off of is the last 2 E3s where the Smash Bros. Has had a reveal. First it was Mega Man, Wii Fit Trainer, and was that the same year that we also got Rosalina? I can't quite remember. But yeah, Rosalina, Wii Fit Trainer, and Mega Man were both at that first E3. The following year, we got 3 more characters. We got Palutena, the Mii Fighters, if you really class that as one character, and Pac-Man. So actually, yeah, we did get 3 fighters per E3. Which is great, because that means we I know there's not really a thing you can do. There's nothing anywhere that says we have to have 3 fighters, but it would be really cool if we got another 3. I'm personally hoping that we get, if Metroid Prime 4 is at this E3, I think we'll get Ridley this time around. I think this is going to be Ridley's game. If Ridley's playable, it's going to be this game, or it's never going to happen, right? In terms of other characters, I think will be playable. Well, going back to Prime for a second, if Prime 4 is coming out this year, or if they're even giving it so much as a sniff, giving us even a peep into what Metroid Prime 4 is going to be, then I do think they'll tie that into a Ridley announcement. I also think that because I know a lot of people are picturing Rex and Pyra being the other characters to be announced. I don't know if they'll do that just yet. I think what they're going to do is this E3 is going to be, they're going to go, oh yeah, by the way, Xenoblade Chronicles X, we're going to put that on Switch as well. I think they're going to do that, and then Elma will be revealed as a playable character. One character I think we actually might just get, because you might have noticed that in the past couple of E3s where we've had character reveals, we've always had at least one third-party character. There's 2 potential candidates for this role this time round. I think we're even going to get Simon Belmont because of that rumor that's floating around. So either him, I'm not sure if that's necessarily the first one I thought of. The other one is Rayman, and I actually have a bet on with my brother. So this is my official recording of that. If Rayman's in Smash Bros, bro, you owe me a $5. That was the deal. Don't forget it. Basically, I actually do think Rayman's going to get revealed at this E3. Because if you think about it, last year we had Mario versus Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That was really successful. Like, it blew everyone out of the water. No one imagined that that game would ever be so successful. I mean, it's Mario plus Rabbids. Who thought that was going to be anything more than a throwaway title? But it turned out to be an actual good game. Like, no one expected that. It was a good game before Mario Odyssey came out. That's unheard of, for the most part. The other thing that makes me think that is basically what's shown, directly below me at the moment. Starlink is another Ubisoft game. It's a multi-platform title coming out on all 3 platforms, but Star Fox is one of the main attractions. The Switch version is having exclusive Star Fox content basically put into it, so that's really nice. Actually, that is really cool. I like that the Switch owners are getting something extra. Nice little change. But that's one thing. I don't think Star Fox Grand Prix is coming this year, but I think Rayman is going to be in Smash Bros. Because Nintendo seems to just have such a strong partnership with Ubisoft at the moment. Not every single Ubisoft game is coming to Switch, but then not every Ubisoft game has to come to Switch, because the Switch is popular, but if you put you can't put all your eggs in one basket, can you? I think I can understand from a marketing and just a general production perspective where that idea comes from, but I genuinely believe that we are getting Rayman in Smash Bros. If not at this E3, definitely revealed before the end of this year. Because again, why would you? He was a trophy in the past game, and it was a completely new 3D model as far as anyone could tell. So to me, that says maybe they were going to do it, but maybe either maybe they got a bit cold feet, or maybe they just decided not this time. Because if you remember, way back, I think when Brawl was being developed, there was a character who was being suggested by the name of Sukapon, I believe it is. Basically, it's a Rayman type robot, so like it has a little ovoid head and a floating body, floating hands, floating feet. And I think Sakurai basically said that he was trying to put that character into the game, but because of the way the game handles characters, disembodied hands and legs are really hard to pull off. So I think there is genuinely a reason why Rayman wasn't in Smash 4. I think technical limitations, because again, remember, Ice Climbers weren't in the Smash 4 because the 3DS couldn't handle more. How do you put more than one set of Ice Climbers on screen on 3DS? Apparently the 3DS can't handle it. Because it's essentially having to handle 8 characters plus whatever other assets on screen. So apparently that was too much for it. Which is interesting enough, but I also think that's why Rayman wasn't in Smash 4 despite him appearing as a trophy. I think technical limitations on the 3DS was exactly what caused that. The stars are kind of aligning on that one, and I think it's just too obvious that I think what they'll do is, assuming I'm right and that Rayman is coming to the game, I don't think they'll announce a new Rayman game unless they decide to port over. Haven't they already ported over Legends? I thought that had already happened. Origins and Legends, or one or the other. I thought they'd already ported that over. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But assuming it hasn't already been ported over, Rayman Legends, I think they'll announce that, or they'll announce like a sequel game, like a third in this sort of Origins Legends trilogy. I think we'll get a new Rayman game exclusively for Switch, or at least like a timed exclusive on Switch. And I think they'll use that to tie in that Rayman's in Smash Bros. I think because Smash Bros is one half game, one third game, one third event, and then one third marketing tool. Because at the end of the day, for example, back when Melee came out, I had never even heard of Kirby, and then I saw him in Smash Bros, and I was intrigued, to say the least. I wanted to play the game, and then the Fire Emblem characters, no one in the West had even known Fire Emblem was really a thing, and then Marth and Roy were put into it, so they have done this before. This is not unusual for them. And I think most of the characters are coming back. The only ones I can see being cut are maybe, like, I don't know, maybe one of the Fire Emblem characters and maybe one of either some of the third parties, and then the Mii fighters. I think they'll either double down and give us more types of Mii fighters, or they'll just remove them completely. And I think Sakurai, because he always gets these stupid requests like, can you put Reggie Fils-Aimé into Smash Bros? Can you put Rihanna into Smash Bros? Can you put other real-life people who are not in video games into Smash Bros? And if it was me, I would actually get legitimately fed up, and I think that the Mii fighters were his way of saying, right, look, make of me of whoever you want to fight with, and then there you go, you've essentially just got your own fighter. I think it's a clever idea, and I don't think they're quite ready to give that up yet. There is a Mii Maker on the Switch as well, so it's not as if this is something, this is something that they're genuinely interested in. I think that's a genuine thing. Don't get me wrong, Smash Bros is the biggest thing that's going to be here, but I think there's going to be other stuff as well. I've already said Mario Power Tennis, I've already said Pokemon, and I've already said Metroid Prime. Star Fox, again, I don't know if that's coming. And then I think what we'll end up getting is, we'll obviously get a Nindies, reel. We'll get the usual third-party Nindies reel. I think there'll be a surprise announcement of a third-party game coming to Switch that no one had foreseen. One thing I'm really excited about is that we've got no leaks this time around. Like that Star Fox thing in Starlink, we had no idea that was coming. We did not know that was a thing until it got revealed, and it was amazing. I was sat in my brother's gaming chair last night, and I was sort of watching it, and then I was like, wait a minute. And when because the trailer's like, this person's in a space battle and she's losing, and she's like, can you hear me? Come on, I need help. And then over the communicator it's like, beep, 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 beep. And then that music started up, and I was just like, oh my god, it's Star Fox. It's Star Fox. It's fucking Star Fox. That was my reaction, and I honestly believe they're going to try and do something similar this time round. I think we're going to get a really big surprise reveal. How would I want to wager this? Okay, for the sake of argument, right, I'm going to give you my... Let's just cut this out a little bit. Because I keep going off on tangents, right? I think we're going to get... either Yoshi or Metroid Prime 4 will be re-revealed as like a proper game with a proper title. I don't think it's going to be Metroid Prime 4 because those games seem to take forever to actually make. I think Yoshi's the more likely... But obviously, it depends. I think they could reveal both. I think they genuinely could, but I mean, they could have a very full release schedule for all I know. I think what's going to happen is that I genuinely believe that they're going to have Metroid Prime 4. They're going to reveal, Samus fighting Ridley and the Space Pirates and all that good stuff. And then they're going to tie that in with Ridley being in Smash Bros. Because I genuinely believe that's coming. I think this is Ridley's time. He's too big not to be in Smash Bros. I think he's coming in as a playable character this time. I think they'll tie that in, and then what they'll do is they'll go off on a little bit of a tangent, and they'll go, oh, by the way, Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee lets you experience Pokemon in HD in a whole new fucking way, because you've been... a whole new way unless, you've been playing Pokemon Go, in which case it's exactly the same. I still hate that fucking... Those games have just destroyed my faith. No, they haven't. I'm still excited for Gen 8. Gen 8's next year. And then, they'll go Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. You can play this, HD remake of Pokemon Yellow. It's an entirely new way to play it, although it plays exactly like Pokemon Go, so it's not a brand new way to play. Motion, you could actually capture Pokemon by flicking your remote to flick the Pokeball at them. Excuse me. And it'll keep going in that sort of sense. And they'll do that, and then I think they'll again move over, and then they'll go, oh, don't forget, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are out now, and then they'll go, also, Decidueye, or Tapu Koko, or Rowlet, or Incineroar, or some Pokemon or another will be in Smash Bros. In terms of Pokemon in Smash Bros, I think Tapu Koko is going to be it. Decidueye seems too obvious, and we already have two winged archers are kind of we don't have that many archers in the game, but we have Link, Toon Link, and both versions of Pit and Dark Pit. They're both archers, and Dark Pit and Pit already have the winged archer thing covered, even though I know they're not quite the same, but that seems kind of boring to me. That doesn't strike me as the way they take it. If it was me, if I was developing Smash Bros, seriously, I would take Jigglypuff out, right, because it's Jigglypuff. I would take Jigglypuff out, I would bring Pokemon Trainer back, let Charizard rejoin the team, because I think that's a way more interesting character. Charizard became kind of filler in Smash 4, which is kind of really weird to think about. I didn't think... It is one of the most popular Gen 1 Pokemon, but it also has this kind of thing where it's not quite there anymore. Like, Charizard was popular, and in Smash Bros, it's awesome to see it in Smash Bros, don't get me wrong. But the fact that it's like Charizard is its own fighter, it kinda almost doesn't make sense. Mewtwo and Pikachu's the mascot of the game, so he exists in his own. He does exist in kind of his own bubble. Mewtwo is almost a character of his own right. Lucario, I think, again, he's just filler. Greninja follows a similar sort of thing. Oh, excuse me. Greninja also... Greninja's the mascot for Gen... is it Gen 6? Yeah, Gen 6, X and Y. Good grief, I'm just full of gas today. Greninja is the mascot for Gen 6, so he's got something there already. I think he's a lock for coming back. Mewtwo, again, one of the most popular Pokemon from Gen 1. I mean, you've got to have that Gen 1 nostalgia in there. But Charizard, he's kind of odd. Charizard is a species more than a character, which is why I think it makes way more sense for Pokemon Trainer to come back, bring back Squirtle and Ivysaur, because Squirtle is Squirtle, I should say. Squirtle's cute. It's got, its water moves, which virtually no other character uses, by the way. It's got its water moves. Ivysaur has the anti-air mechanics, and it's obviously, as well, it's a quadruped, which we do not have at the moment. So each of Pokemon Trainer's Pokemon is very unique in a certain way, and then there's Big Bad Charizard to round out that little roster. I think they should take Jigglypuff out, bring Pokemon Trainer back with Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard as part of the team. Give us an alt so we can play as, at the very least, give us Leaf so we can play as the female trainer as well, because the whole point of Fire and Leaf Green, or at least every game since Crystal, is that you can play as either trainer. And what's kind of cool about that is that the Pokemon trainers, I watched a video a bit early on, and I actually realised there was actually meant to be a third rival for you in Red and Blue, which was the female trainer. Like, you could pick whichever gender you want, and then the gender you weren't would be your rival. So if you were the female trainer, Red would have been the rival. If you were Red, then Green would have been the rival. But Leaf gets no looking whatsoever these days, so it would be really cool to see her just as an alt. Again, similar to what they did with Koopalings. I think alts are really good. They don't tap into the potential enough. So I think that would be really cool. To see Charizard come back as part of Trainer's team. Again, I'd remove Jigglypuff, and I would also, instead of Decidueye, what about Rowlet? Rowlet was the single most popular Pokemon revealed at the start of Gen 7, when there was just revealing the first set of Pokemon. Rowlet, everyone loved Rowlet. They just do. It's a little cute round grass owl thing. And it actually kind of fits in Jigglypuff's role very nicely, because it's the cute Pokemon, right? It's cute. It even has its flying type. It has wings, so it can do the double jump. It can do the 5 jump thing, and it's even spherical, so it actually fits in really nicely into Jigglypuff's niche. It's just a bird instead of freaking, instead of being a weird balloon thing with a creamy whip on top. So I would actually put Rowlet in there. And then I would add in Tapu Koko as a completely brand new fighter just on its own, because it's amazing. How can you not love the concept? It's a totem, right? It's like part of a totem pole. It's a chicken. It's a god. It's electric. It's a guardian. It loves to fight. And it's described as having a temperament where the character, you know, Tapu Koko gets really angry very quickly, but almost instantly forgets what made it mad. I think that alone is just comical in of itself. I think it would fit really well into the Smash Bros. Verse, and you can even tie it in with the Z moves, because, like, assuming Pokemon Trainer comes back, I imagine Triple Finish would come back, and then Tapu Koko could have its Guardian of Alola Z move, where it just sort of summons this massive golem and it just slams down with a fist. It's too perfect, and I'm surprised no one's considered it. And Tapu Koko was, at the end of the day, one of the sort of Gen 7 Pokemon that was... It's not as popular in Japan, which I think hurts its chances a little bit, but... And Sakurai has more or less... He hasn't stated it outright, but I think he does have a bias towards the Japanese audience, which I think is a bit crap when you're doing a worldwide, international, multi-generation game. But yeah, Tapu Koko makes the most sense to me. I would put Rowlet instead of Jigglypuff, but a lot of people are like, no, Jigglypuff's one of the original 12. But you say that, but then Jigglypuff, they were considering dropping it for Melee and Brawl. Jigglypuff was added into Brawl really late. That's why it doesn't have a role in Subspace Mystery. That, and what the hell are you going to do with Jigglypuff? Jigglypuff and Toon Link Wolf Jigglypuff were all added in last minute to Brawl, alongside Sonic, which is exactly why they have nothing to do with the Subspace Mystery. But that just said, I do not care about Jigglypuff. Like, of all the Pokemon, Jigglypuff is fun and it's unique, and I really like it. But at the same, and it is popular in Japan. Did you see the queues for that Jigglypuff amiibo? That was crazy. I saw the queues; they were miles long just for one amiibo of Jigglypuff, which isn't even that great a Pokemon to begin with. Like, its evolved form Wigglytuff has no real battle potential. It's a fairy normal type. That's all it's got going for it. Right? Screw it. I would say let's just get rid of Jigglypuff. I know it's popular. I know people still really like it, but why do we still need it? It's a relic, almost, of Gen 1. The only reason we still have it around is, again, Gen 1, the nostalgia factor. And if you're going to bring Pokemon Trainer back, and because I'm assuming now that's what's actually going to happen, if you bring Pokemon Trainer back, right, then you have Pikachu, Charizard, Ivysaur, Squirtle, and Mewtwo. That's 5 representatives from Gen 1, and then Jigglypuff would make 6, and then you've got Lucario and Greninja. Well, 5, 6, 7, 8 representatives, right? I say, let's get rid of Jigglypuff. Let's get rid of Jigglypuff, and I'm actually going to sit here and say that, I would also, I don't know, is Lucario still popular? I feel like it is still somewhat popular, but Lucario always is very similar to Charizard in that it was popular. Like, Charizard is still popular to this day. Lucario is kind of popular, but is it really that level anymore? Lucario's aura is really unique, but at the same time, it's not that great. I don't know. It's weird because I could see I think Lucario will come back. I don't think there's any point me, speculating otherwise. But I don't know why. Like, you'd think it would... Usually, I kind of think of Smash Bros. As only having the more relevant characters or fan favourites and stuff like that. When it comes to Pokemon, though, every single Pokemon, with the exception of Simisear, every single Pokemon has its fans. So it's impossible to find any one Pokemon that wouldn't get some applause from some fans. Like, Greninja, I know a lot of people love Greninja, and a lot of people love Charizard, a lot of people love Mewtwo. Most people would just kind of have to... You either love Pikachu or you accept it. You can't really... Pikachu's one of those Pokemon where it's kind of the mascot. You can't get away from that, unfortunately. Imagine how different Smash Bros. Would be if Clefairy was the mascot for Pokemon. Pikachu was picked because it was a design that appealed to both boys and girls. Imagine if the more feminine Clefairy had actually been the mascot for Pokemon. How different would that be today? I have to wonder. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again. This isn't meant to be a Smash Bros. Prediction video. Yeah, I think in terms of... Let me just wrap up Smash Bros. Real quick. I think we will get 3 new fighters revealed today. And I'm going to say right now, I think it's going to be Rayman, Rayman, either a Xenoblade character or Ridley. And then we're gonna get either a Pokemon reveal or a Xenoblade reveal? I don't fucking know. I've lost track. I should write this stuff down. I also think we're going to get a proper look at Breath of the Wild, Link and Zelda, because if Link has his Breath of the Wild design, then so does Zelda, and I can't picture them giving her the same moveset she's been using for the past 5 games. That just seems silly to me. But anyway, so I think we're all excited. I'm really looking forward to it. I really hope there is one really nice surprise for everyone in store. Like, they've said they're going to try and focus on franchises that don't normally get a look in. So I'm kind of hoping that means we're going to get... I hope Star Fox Grand Prix is revealed. I genuinely think that has some amazing potential. Excuse me. Yeah, so... I'm excited. And I can't wait to see what's coming up. Nintendo... This is your day. Do not let me down. Alright, guys. I'll see you. It's now 1:15. So I shall see you in a bit. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. My mouse doesn't work. I unplugged the mouse. Whoops.